And there's a chance that Jonathan Hatton could be that next star for the Oklahoma Sooners. But who's going to be the star in 2025? Let's discuss the running back room coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, the Oklahoma Sooners brought back their entire running back room. It's the one position group that didn't lose anybody. Kind of surprisingly, I think everybody expected there'd be a transfer portal or two defection, but that didn't happen. You're bringing back Javonte Barnes and Gavin Sawchuk, Xavier Robinson, Taylor Tatum, Sam Franklin. Oh, and you're adding in four-star running back Tory Blaylock to the group. So, Jay, make sense of this running back group this spring.
You've got a lot of talent. Both the Sawchuk brothers stuck around. Like you said, Javonte Barnes stuck around. Xavier Robinson stuck around. Taylor Tatum still around. He's playing baseball, but he's still around. And then Sam Franklin, which I'm still surprised at Sam Franklin. He must really love DeMarco Murray for him to make his return. You know, he had some blunders to where you thought that he was going to be like, yeah, I need to go and find me a new space. I mean, he ran for 1,300 yards, at Tennessee Martin. So, you didn't really get much of that out of him, but he's back. So, yeah, the room itself is very, very healthy. And to be honest, after seeing Gavin Sawchuk get up to about like 205 pounds and Javonte Barnes being shelved, I have a feeling he may end up being your main number one guy with Xavier Robinson right behind him. X-Rob has put on a little bit more weight. He's up to the 235 now. Looks like they want him to be beefed up to handle the hits in the SEC. So I can see those two being the ones sharing carries this year. And I can see Tory Blaylock really coming in late and then next season being up there with X-Rob as well as Taylor Tatum. But as of right now, I'm leaning heavy on Gavin Sawchuk as your one with X-Rob right next to him.
Well, and this is why it's so important to get that offensive line going, because if you get that going, you could potentially get a Gavin Sawchuk that you got in 2023 where he finished the season with a bunch of 100-yard games.
Yeah.
You got to create a runway for the dude. He's fast. He's a little bit agile. He can make guys miss in the open field. But if you're not giving him space to run, it's not going to be super effective. You have a number two in Xavier Robinson who can create yards after contact. So if your offensive line isn't clicking, isn't creating good space in the run game, isn't creating positive push in the run game, then you've got a guy in Xavier Robinson that can churn out those dirty yards, even if the offensive line isn't doing well. We saw it against Alabama, right? He was dynamic. He was dynamite, had the big, long run, but he did a lot of the little things really, really well for you. I still believe in Taylor Tatum's ability. The dude just needs to learn how to hold on to the football a little bit better. And once he does that, he'll be in good hands, right?
Done deal.
Javonte Barnes, he was one of your bright spots on offense for 2024, where there were maybe two or three bright spots. He was one of those.
Yep.
And it's a bummer that he's going to be out this spring, but expect him to be a part of the rotation in the fall. And then, Tory Blaylock, I think, much like Taylor Tatum, just a big-time home run hitter. He's got the explosiveness. He's got the speed to make a big play in the passing game, in the running game. There's a lot of talent, man, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out, but it's going to be fascinating to see how they divvy up the snaps. We know DeMarco Murray has deployed rotations ad nauseum a little bit over the last couple of years. Really, since Eric Gray left, they really haven't had a great handle on the running back situation. One, due to injuries, secondly, to performance. But hopefully this is the year that things kind of get back on track and they're able to find some consistency at the running back position.
Yeah, that's the hope. The hope is that we get the consistency back that we need in order to be efficient in that room. And I think we can. We've got a bunch of veterans now in the running back room who's actually done some stuff. All of them have scored touchdowns. All of them had 100-yard running games. All of them have done some damage. And so now it's about who's the one that can go out there and perform. And yeah, I hate that Javonte Barnes didn't get a chance to, come in here in spring and be able to really take the number one spot, but it's okay. I truly do believe that this is probably going to be on X-Rob and Gavin Sawchuk being your main guys going forward. And, hopefully with that two pairing, that's your thunder and lightning, and you get yourself a few, you get yourself 1,000 yards, at least combined, if not more, with them, because that John Mateer is going to get some runs in there too. And at the same time, I would rather us burn the clock with our running backs and really kill time and get some catches in the flat too. So there's a lot of opportunity when it comes there. But I got a curious one for you though, John, to go into this. As we're looking at running back, we know Jaren Kanak is moving to the tight end / H-back spot. How do you feel about him being the potential starting tight end?
I mean, I'd be all for that. I don't know if he's got quite the size that you're looking for, but if you use him a little bit split out, not a traditional inline, but you get him out in the slot, you line him up a little bit in the backfield as a fullback, H-back, then I like it a lot better. And I think because he's got so much speed, you're going to have to figure out ways to get him on the field. Yes, he's not a 6'5", 240, 250 tight end, but that's okay. What you want him on the field to do is not just block. You want to get the ball in his hands so that he can get out in space, make plays, and get some yardage for you. And I think he's going to be capable of doing that. The tight end sweep that we saw from Bauer Sharp, everybody railed against it because they ran a handoff out wide to the tight ends, or at least they did it, but they weren't supposed to do it, but they did it. You do that with Jaren Kanak, and I think that actually creates yardage, because remember, this is a dude that's got sub 1,100 yard dash speed. And he's somebody who's going to test I think he'd probably test in the 4.5 to 4.4 range in the 40. He's just got that much speed to him. So I'm open to it, man. Just get the guy on the field somehow, some way.
Yeah. Looking at the size we have at the tight end spot, I mean, Kanak he's not the smallest. I mean, K. McIntyre, I think, is actually smaller than him, but at 6'2", 230, still being able to run probably close to the speeds in high schools. I think he ran like a 10.4 in the 100. Yeah. So he's very much fast. He's absurdly fast, and he's very strong or whatnot. The biggest thing with Kanak is going to get that blocking down. But I do, like you said, I like the idea of him offset at the H-back role, but it sounds like in practice, based upon the notes that's been flying around practices or whatnot and thoughts, he's out there looking really good, making some nice catches. He's hitting some great routes. He's doing a good job of chipping. Now, his blocking isn't fully there yet, but it looks like he's a willing blocker, which to me, that's the most important thing about someone learning. Are you willing to go out there and get ran over by a linebacker coming at you full speed, like a James Nesta or something? Or are you more willing to, are you going to be the guy that's going to whiff on it and, really get your quarterback lit up? Him being a willing blocker to me is key. But I need to see some Kaden Helms. I need it now. Now you're now a redshirt junior, so this is year 4. It's time for me to see you on the field. I need to see you on the field. I need to see you actually producing, not just against Illinois State. I need you against Michigan. Show me that you're ready to play full time here and be here this entire time. That's all we got to do. Once we see him healthy, I think we'll be happy. But I don't think the tight end room is as bad as everybody makes it. I don't think Kent or Huggins or Locke came here to just be, bodies. I think they're going to be able to contribute. I also can't wait to see Trinae Washington, the tight end that came from Carl Albert here in Midwest City. I mean, he came into college at 6'4", 233. He's healthy. Maybe taking somebody's job.
And then there's Davon Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, and Davon Mitchell. We got to talk about the 275-pound, 6'4" dude that looks huge, but doesn't look like he's 270 pounds. He's just like a massive dude. So that's a fair point.
Makes me wonder also if they're trying to do a little Lane Johnson action with him and move him to offensive tackle one day. I don't know. I don't think that's the case. He's too athletic to not try out at tight end at some point, but I think it is going to be better than what everybody expects, mostly because I think the offense is going to be better. And so your tight end group is going to be more productive. You're going to get more out of it as a receiving unit, and you're going to get more out of it as a blocking unit too. Yeah. It just sounds like everything is going to be a little bit better than what you've had in the last couple of years. I don't think the Bauer Sharp thing was a bad idea. I just think the offense was terrible. So it was hard for anybody to really shine in that situation. But I think you're going to be okay at tight end, even if you have guys that are going to be your blocking tight ends and guys that are going to be your receiving tight ends, or if you're not even using a tight end, if you're going 4 wide receivers and a running back, I don't think there's going to be, to me, as high of expectations, but also as high of a responsibility on the tight end to go and put out like a Mark Andrews type season or even a Braden Willis type season. You just want them to, when their number is called, that they contribute. That's really what we're looking for.
Important. Yeah, I'm with you there.
So a lot of interesting options, at least. And so we'll see who ends up making their case to be the starting tight end and how they deploy these tight ends in the fall. It'll be exciting to see, but we'll hear more over spring ball and be able to share more with you here on Locked On Sooners. So make sure you're tuned into the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams. You can read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay. I'm John. Boomer Sooner.